Hey there everyone, and I thank you guys so much for tuning into yet another wild orchid adventure with me, Maria Young. Okay, so today we have a very special project for you involving a monster Dendrobium. That's right, we are going to be doing a major propagation project and also a repot on the big fella. So definitely this is a very exciting adventure. So let's go ahead and get it started right now. Okay, so hidden within the ground layer of my Amazon forest here, you can see the Dendrobium right here, and it's actually pretty huge. So I'm going to get this big guy out of here, and we'll see exactly how humunga dunga he is. Okay, folks, now this is the monster Dendrobium that I was telling you guys all about, and oh my gosh! This is a humunga dunga of a Dendrobium, totally wild and totally crazy! Yeah, folks, you see it. You see it right here. Oh my goodness. As you can see, this is a whopper right here, a whopper of a Dendrobium that stands at a good 3 feet tall, and as you can see, it is pretty massive with all of its new growths and all of its canes just extending right out of the plant here. This plant is humunga dunga, and that ain't no lie, folks. Oh my bejeebers. This Dendrobium is like totally wild and totally crazy. Okay, folks, so this humunga dunga of a Dendrobium right here has quite a sad story, I am so sorry to say. But I have to be honest with you and tell you the whole truth and nothing but the truth. I actually got this Dendrobium very, can I mention, very healthy. It actually was all full of foliage and canes coming left and right from this guy. And what occurred was that one day there happened to be this very big, huge yellow spotting on one of the leaves, and it caused me great concern. And then to my horror, I found out that another leaf had it and another leaf had it, and it just really began to spread throughout the plant. So I became very concerned. I took it outside and I actually left it in front of the garage because I did not want to have it intermingling with the rest of my orchids. And in front of my garage there does get some sun, and this actual Dendrobium could not tolerate the type of sun that it was getting in front of my garage, and it burned off a whole bunch of leaves. Well, happy to tell you that the spottings had went away after all of those leaves had fell away. It didn't develop those spottings anymore. But I am sad to say I'm just finding that out right now because what I ended up doing is I went ahead and put this isolated from the rest of my orchids in my garden, and of course I kept him way over there in the Amazon jungle. And of course what happened is it was by itself. It was actually covered up, and so right now it's kind of like it's hanging in there, it's surviving, but it could be doing a whole lot better. And I want to show you exactly what I'm talking about as far as a whole lot better. She has this huge, massive root system right here, and a bunch of new growths are really coming from it. And what's happening is it's causing this cane to really be imbalanced, and it's beginning to tilt and go forward. And same thing over here, of course, these canes that are protruding outwards are actually beginning to just come out, and you know, a strong gust of wind will actually just snap these canes in two. So it definitely has to be in a bigger pot, and it also has to be better staked just to provide it more security so it won't wiggle and wobble so much when the wind blows. Okay, so within this big mass of root right here, I did want to count to you and show you exactly how many new growths have grown from one area. And we are counting 1, we are counting 2, we are counting 3, we are counting 4, and we are counting 5. So there are actually 5 new growths in this area, and of course those new growths, some of them have actually become adults and have grown up, just like this guy right here, which is now in bloom. If you see that spike right there coming from between the leaf. So yeah, this really has to be trimmed down, or these keikis or new growths or now adult plants have to really be cut away and repotted. Okay, and seeing the condition of what this Dendrobium is at right now, definitely has to have a lot of work on this guy. I mean, we have to repot, we have to propagate, and we also have to stake this guy up to get him at a point where he can grow a lot healthier and a lot steadier. But taking a close look, folks, you are now seeing that this Dendrobium is actually beginning to spike. And not only does it have this spike right here, taking a closer look at another cane, you will begin to see that indeed it's beginning to spike here as well. So folks, what I've decided to do in this case, I'm going to have to allow this Dendrobium to stay the way it is in the regards of not propagating it today, because I do want some beautiful loving in the form of blooms from this guy. So I'm going to allow this guy to bloom, and then afterwards I will indeed propagate. Oh, but before I do, I did want to show you something a little bit awkward. Okay, so as you can see, there's a breakage right here. The tip of this actual cane was broken off, and I wanted to show you the broken tip right here. Now, this tip had broke, I would say, about a month, maybe a month and a half ago, and I found it laying down on the ground, and it's so weird because, as you can see, again, in a month's time, it still has held its color. It still has held its consistency. I mean, if it had not been for the fact that it did get cut off, you would think that it was alive and well and growing. So that to me indicates that, perhaps it's trying to still survive. And it does have this area right here where it could possibly grow some roots, or I don't know, maybe at the very bottom. I mean, I've seen orchids do the wildest, craziest things, so I never put anything past what an orchid could do. So I'm going to be closely monitoring this right here, because wouldn't it be so wonderful and awesome if this did continue to survive and grow its root and start another plant from it? Who knows, guys? We'll just have to wait and see. Okay, so here we are, folks, and what I have before you are some stakes and also some clips. So let's go ahead and get started with the staking down of this monster Dendrobium. Voila! Okay, folks, so I was trying to stake this orchid down, and all of a sudden, yeah, this kind of collapsed. This is way too heavy to be on this, and it finally did collapse. It's really weak, and I'm holding it up right now because it's going to tear into this plant, and to prevent it from causing any more injury, I'm going to have to actually go in there and cut this away. Okay, folks, so this is a little bit unplanned, but hey, we got to do what we got to do. I don't actually have any scissors or any type of cutting utensil. I believe that because this is ready to go, it's going to be fairly easy to try to tear this away, and I'm going to go ahead and just do it by hand. And here we go, folks. Yep, it's a little bit trying to give me resistance here. You got to imagine all of these roots are actually wrapped around. Oh my. So this is actually might be a little bit more tedious than I thought it initially would be, but here we go. So let's try to get this a little bit untangled here, and that's what I'm doing now. Okay, folks, is this not crazy? This is like totally crazy. Okay, this is the actual cane that the keikis were attached to. And as you can see, it is no longer attached to this cane at all, because here is the massive roots from all of these keikis on what used to be here. Okay, so right now I can't get this from here, and the reason why is because the roots are so massive that they've wrapped around other canes, and they've actually went all the way down to the medium where they've started growing in there as well. So now I have to cut away some of the roots just to even get this out of the rest of the canes and the plant itself. Wow, how ridiculous is that? Okay, folks, and here it is. We finally got this segment right here disattached from in there. Yeah. So I guess we are going to be doing a repotting today. I mean, this was totally not planned, but yeah, let's go ahead and do that. We're just going to go ahead and remove all of these stakes and canes out of here. And then we're going to go ahead and remove this medium and also carefully remove all of these canes as well. Okay, folks, so here we are. And being that this is a container that is ceramic or made out of pottery, it's very difficult to get your orchids out of here. Lucky for me, we just watered this plant, so therefore the roots are actually a lot easier to remove from the pot. So what I'm going to do now is I'm really just going to take a good hold of the plant and see if I could kind of yank it out, and it's working, guys, so I don't need any other form of tool right here. And here we go. These are the roots, okay, as you can see. Okay, folks, so unfortunately, I'm not going to do a very thorough repot on this guy, not right now, as I've shown you that some of the canes are starting to spike, and I definitely do want to enjoy the blossom, so I'm actually going to be as careful as possible, not disturbing the root system too much, and getting this into just a bigger pot that can really retain and hold this massive plant. So that's what we're going to do today, and I'll just have to wait at a later date to do a thorough repot on this humunga dunga of a dendrobium. Okay, folks, and as I was moving this around, repotting this one right here also broke as well, and these are the keikis. So I'm going to actually have to remove this also, and yep, here it is. This one was fairly easy. So yeah, so we had to divide these out. There's no way, they just broke on its own. So that goes to show you, they were really ready to start off as new plants, and we're going to do just that for them. Okay, right now I don't have the pot fully filled up. I'm just really trying to maneuver the plants in here so that I can get good placement and I can figure out, you know, the best way that I can situate it to grow, and also the best way where it'll be attractive as well. So we'll see what we come up with here. Okay, folks, here we are, and this is the monster dendrobium that we had, and we have now fully repotted the orchid in a bigger pot. And as you can also see in there, there are stakes that we've maneuvered where the plant is actually growing straighter, and you're not having all of these canes just flailing left and right, but instead it's just a lot more cleaner, a lot more healthier here, folks. And again, I didn't really disturb the root system too much, so I'm hoping that the little spikes that have started growing will indeed provide us its beautiful bloom. So indeed I am anticipating that, folks. And here we are. I am so happy. I think he is going to be much more happier the way he's growing now, much more healthier. And of course, folks, that's what it's all about. And indeed, we'll keep a close eye on this monster dendrobium, and we look forward to big things from this guy. Big things, right? I thank you guys so much for tuning in to yet another episode of Wild Orchid Adventures with me, Maria Young. And if you learned something from this video and you like this video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up. And if you want to stay tuned for more videos such as this, please be sure to subscribe. Now you can also join me on my Facebook adventures at My Orchid Adventures on Facebook. And if you guys want to contact me via snail mail, you can also do that as well at the address provided right here. I thank you guys again so much for tuning in to yet another orchid adventure with me, Maria Young. And I thank you so much, and I love y'all. So happy growing, everyone. Bye-bye.